Hey, I'm Will Afton with the LSU AgCenter, and I want to talk to you today about vegetable pear plants. For those of you that may be familiar with this particular fruit that we can grow in our Louisiana gardens, they go by many names. Some people call them alligator pears, some people call them vegetable pears. You know, around South Louisiana and around New Orleans, we call these Mirlitons. Some might pronounce that Mirliton. We're all talking about the same thing here. When you go into your local produce market, you'll actually find these for sale, and they'll call them coyote squash. Mirliton plants grow during the warm season of the year. So they usually start growing about May 1st. They grow through the summertime. Late summer period, that's when they initiate their flowering, and then fruits start to develop that we're harvesting towards the October, November, into December. That's why they're such a popular plant during Thanksgiving time. Mirliton plants are members of the cucurbit vegetable family, so they are related to cucumbers, squash, zucchini, and pumpkins. Another similar characteristic to the other plants in Cucurbitaceae is the fact that they produce male and female flowers on the same plant, and like some similar pollination issues with like cucumbers, sometimes we might have more male flowers apparent at one time and not as many female flowers, so some pollination issues there, but they eventually work themselves out as the plant continues to grow. But look, it's real simple to grow Mirlitons, especially in South Louisiana where we have these mild winters. They can grow in almost any type of soil condition. However, we do find they grow best in something that's well drained and very high in organic matter. They have a very shallow root system, so that means that the majority of their feeder roots are closer to the soil surface. So in growing situations, we find it's best to use a little bit of mulch there just to help, it'll help retain some moisture when it gets hot during the summertime. When you're growing Mirlitons, you need something for them to grow on. Traditionally around the New Orleans area, these things just grew on chain link metal fences that ran between lots. So it does not need to be anything fancy, but you definitely need something for these vines to grow on, to get them up in the air, to help with some air circulation and help it make it easier to pick. So got a big trellis system here, but there's a lot of do-it-yourself ideas out there. When it comes to fertilizing these plants, when you get one plant started there, usually 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of like 8-24-24 fertilizer would be a good starting mix, and they're vigorous growers throughout the season, so you can add a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of calcium nitrate every 6 weeks as it grows and produces throughout the summer season. Harvest as you need, but always save you a couple of nice, large, healthy-looking fruit so that we can save them over that wintertime period and we have some planting material to start new plants for the next season. You're going to store them in a cool, dark area. Most people put them in a paper sack, in a closet where the light can't reach there, and they'll keep them over the wintertime where they can transplant them outside and start a new plant that following spring.